A winter storm watch has been issued from 6 a.m. Thursday to 6 a.m. Saturday. Stay with 92.7 WMAY for updates on the developing weather situation. The Springfield School Board could vote next month to keep a supply of Narcan on hand in city schools for fast response to an opioid overdose at school. It's part of a proposed revision to the district's policy on administering medication at school. The proposal from the Illinois Association of School Boards also updates policies on the administration of medical cannabis. The policy allows students with a medical marijuana card to take the drug under the supervision of a school nurse, but not in a form that could be smoked or vape. Some top law enforcement officials are urging state lawmakers to do more to get assault weapons off the streets. During the latest legislative committee hearing on a proposed assault weapons ban, Cook County Sheriff Tom Dart said his deputies are overwhelmed by the number and lethality of the weapons they are encountering on the streets. Chicago police say they have confiscated more than 1,100 assault weapons so far this year. Lawmakers are expected to vote on the bill, which would also ban the sale of large-capacity ammunition magazines early next year. The fate of Illinois' Safety Act and the end of cash bail in the state may come right down to the wire. Arguments were heard Tuesday in a consolidated lawsuit made up of complaints filed by more than 60 states' attorneys, including Sangamon County's Dan Wright. They argued that the new law is unconstitutionally vague and takes away discretion regarding bail granted to judges by the state constitution. The Kankakee County judge plans a written ruling by December 28th, 3 days before the law will take effect. Your dependable 5-day forecast is next on WMAY.
Holiday Mega Passes and Jumbo Passes from the Illinois State Fair are on sale now. Through December 31st, get the best prices of the year. Mega Passes are good for unlimited carnival rides all 11 days of the fair in Carnival Midway and Adventure Village. Only $60 right now. For only $10 more, get the Jumbo Pass that also includes unlimited use of the giant slide during the fair. Easy to order, available 24/7 at www.illinoisstatefair.info or call 217-782-0775 during regular business hours to order. Orders can also be placed by mail or fax. Your 2023 Illinois State Fair Holiday Mega and Jumbo Passes, now only $60 and $70. Get yours before December 31st.
How would you like to work for the area's premier multimedia marketing and advertising company right here in Springfield? Well, here's your opportunity. At Midwest Family, we're looking for talented and dynamic account executives who thrive in a fast-paced working environment. Those who are passionate, self-motivated, goal-oriented, and highly competitive. Are you a problem solver with great communication skills? Do you have a grasp on today's digital media? And do you have the ability to cultivate lasting relationships and partnerships? If this sounds like this is for you, apply online today at MidwestFamilySPI.com and click on our Careers tab. At Midwest Family Springfield, we offer unique sales career opportunities where you're given a challenging mission, world-class tools like HubSpot CRM, ongoing training, and the chance to realize your full potential as a marketing and advertising sales professional. This is Rob Zavitka, Director of Sales and Business Development Manager at Midwest Family Springfield. Are you my next candidate? If so, please apply online today at MidwestFamilySPI.com and click on the Careers tab. Midwest Family is an equal opportunity employer.
Listen and watch interviews with the biggest newsmakers. Subscribe to 92.7 WMAY on YouTube.
Your dependable 5-day forecast on WMAY. Cloudy today and tonight with a high near 34, low around 31. Tomorrow, rain early, turning to snow before 9 a.m. Blizzard conditions with wind chill values about 10 below. Snow accumulation of 3 to 5 inches. Wind chill values tomorrow night between 20 and 30 below zero. Friday, partly sunny, windy and cold with a high near 3. And Christmas Eve, sunny, windy and cold with a high near 10. I'm Don Howard, 92.7 WMAY.
Weather sponsored by Lauterbach Tire and Auto, home of Stage 2 service. Drive safely now.
You could dig a hole in the ground and bury your cash, but that's no way to see your savings grow. Use an INBCD, and you'll earn a 3.14% annual percentage yield just for keeping your money with us for 13 months. The minimum deposit and balance for this certificate of deposit special is $10,000. For more details, visit INB.com. Apply at any INB branch or on our website. INB, member FDIC.
Shop the largest selection of Amish and American-made furniture all in one location at Hendricks Home Furnishings. From living room upholstery and accent tables to bedroom, dining room, and home office furniture. Select your sizes, wood finishes, colors, leathers, and fabrics of your choice. At Hendricks, the options are endless for style and comfort that will last a lifetime. Come shop Amish and American-made furniture on sale now. Hendricks Home Furnishings in Verdon and online at hendricks.tv, where you can always talk to the owners.
The holidays come but once a year, and Master Force is here to spread some cheer. With drivers and drills and blades and bits, from sanders and saws to power tool kits. Menards has the value and savings, of course. Shop tools and accessories from Master Force. Find great stocking stuffers and gifts at Menards. Plus, don't forget about our gift cards. Hurry now for deals on Master Force because these savings end December 24th.
Boy, season's greetings to you all from Menards.
Well, you know, Christmas is only a couple of weeks away, and the big old GOB sale at A.B. Lauer Jewelers is going crazy. Lots of great jewelry on sale at crazy prices, up to 80% off. Nothing's being held back. We're now open Mondays 11 to 6, so our hours are 11 to 6 Monday through Saturday. Don't wait any longer. We'll be closed forever after the holidays. A.B. Lauer Jewelers in the beautiful Montvale Junction Shopping Center on West Isles.
92.7 WMAY, Springfield's news and talk.
All right, let's get your calls on today's daily poll question, which is, should Illinois ban certain types of guns and magazines? Yes or no? And you can, of course, elaborate a bit on that question by calling in live and local at 217-629-7970. You can also email bishoponair@gmail.com or find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and we can connect that way. Earlier this program, way in the 6 o'clock hour, just with as much as we've got going on each and every Wednesday, we reviewed a lot of the nearly 5-hour hearing yesterday. Yeah, they heard from Cook County Sheriff Tom Dart, who brought props with him, and they, laid out their support for banning certain types of weapons. And this was obviously, law enforcement from larger urban areas pushing for these things. But you had opponents there as well. In particular, the Illinois State Rifle Association testified saying that they're not going to negotiate on this bill, saying that banning guns is that red line that they're just not going to cross. You had Todd Vandermeide there. He's the former NRA lobbyist. He also was a lobbyist for the Federal Firearms Licensees of Illinois, the organization that represents gun stores. But as a retired individual, he was there testifying, talking about how the U.S. Supreme Court has really changed the landscape on how courts need to rule on the Second Amendment. It's no longer a balancing approach of saying, well, yeah, we can curb constitutional civil rights if it makes people feel better, if it makes people feel safer. That was the balancing approach that they used to take, but the U.S. Supreme Court recently, with a case out of New York, said that that's no longer acceptable, and that balanced approach of, well, we can curb constitutional civil rights if it makes people feel better, that's been thrown out, and the table's been reset. And essentially, the U.S. Supreme Court has made it clear that it's text and tradition, meaning that the text and tradition of the Second Amendment was a well-regulated militia being necessary for the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms, shall not be infringed. So I want to hear from you at 217-629-7970. That's the phone number again. The daily poll question, it uses the language of the proposal, calling things assault weapons, calling things high-capacity magazines. The actual definition in the legislation says large capacity ammunition feeding devices. But regardless, should Illinois ban the sale of certain types of guns and magazines? Good morning. You're on WMAY.
Hey, morning, Greg. How's it going?
Good. Yourself?
Oh, not too bad. Hey, the way technology has come and engineering practices and everything, I think it's kind of silly that you would carry a gun with anything less than like 10 rounds. So if we're going to ban anything, I want people to be safe. And you want as many bullets as you can have in your pocket. I think anything less than 10 should be, strictly to the range.
Well, I mean, listen, gun owners know that it's hard to find a pistol, a modern pistol nowadays, that has 10 or fewer rounds in the magazine, because most modern pistols nowadays, it's 14 rounds in the magazine, it's 15, maybe some have 17 rounds in the magazine, and that's all over the place. So if you were to ban these types of magazines, you're essentially putting the potential of hundreds of thousands, if not 2+ million people in the state of Illinois that would have to register their firearms with state police, let alone if they have more than one magazine that holds more than 10 rounds, they could find themselves facing a felony.
Yep. No, I think we should ban the little magazine. More bullets.
All right, I appreciate the call. Kind of tongue-in-cheek there, but I want to hear from you at 217-629-7970. Again, your thoughts. This is a subject that's not going to go away. They had the third hearing yesterday, and the sponsor of the measure hopes to get it across the finish line by January 10th, but yesterday's nearly 5-hour-long hearing heard from law enforcement. Some of them, not all law enforcement support this, but the big urban areas like Cook County, they support it. Tom Dart saying that we need to have this now. But you had opponents there as well, and that needs to be reported. The opponents of this need to be heard, and too often we hear the reporting coming out of certain media outlets that says, it's just, all the supporters and the glowing praise for the legislation, it's the supporters and law enforcement support banning weapons, and that's not the case. The case is there's plenty of opposition out there, and I want to hear from you if you oppose it, and I want to hear from you if you support it. 217-629-7970 is the phone number. Good morning. You're on WMAY.
Hey, Bishop.
Hey.
The sheriff, Cook County, said that they've confiscated 1,100 weapons this year.
It was up there. Yeah, it was 1,100, 1,400. I can't remember exactly.
Okay. Well, if they're confiscating that weapon, either that person can't have it legally or they're using it illegally.
Right.
So if you ban it, it's not the people who break the law are not going to change. They're going to keep having them. All you're going to do is make it tougher for the guy who does obey the law.
Yeah, and you're going to make them jump through more hoops, and that's something that the gun owner rights advocates said is they're sick and tired of being blamed for the actions of psychopaths. But the supporters of these gun bans say that, we need to limit the amount of accessibility to these so psychopaths can't get them. Well, the state of Illinois does have those provisions in place, like the FOID card, which is clear has not worked in a lot of these instances, including the Aurora mass shooting and the shooting in Highland Park.
Yeah, I asked Jim Leach just last night. Maybe if you have a magazine that's more than 10 rounds, you will also have to register that magazine?
There is nothing in the law or nothing in the bill, it's not a law yet, but there's nothing in the bill about grandfathering in the magazines of 10 or more. It does have in there provisions about registering the semi-automatic guns that are on this list, but nothing in there about registering the magazines. It just simply says that the possession of the magazines would be unlawful. And you could get anywhere from a Class A misdemeanor to up to a Class 2 felony, which is pretty severe. And that would take away an individual's rights to vote.
Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous because right now I've got a little 380 that holds 12.
Yeah.
And like you said, there's all kinds of pistols out there that come from the factory. Right. Stock magazine is over 10.
Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate the call, 217-629-7970. We'll get to one more here before the break. Good morning, you're on WMAY.
I oppose the bill, Bishop. I don't like it, man, because the gang members, they already have the weapons, dude. No law put in place is going to change that.
Well, I think one law that could possibly happen is just to ban all guns, and you can't do that. We have a Second Amendment right in this country, a well-regulated militia, which does not mean more laws, and anybody who says that doesn't necessarily understand what a well-regulated militia means. But a well-regulated militia being necessary for the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. That's what the Second Amendment says.
Yeah. We should have the right to defend ourselves against this. I mean, look at what happened in Nazi Germany. They were taking everybody's guns. They had no way to defend themselves against the
Well,
military.
but what's your reaction to those who say, well, the federal government's got drones, they've got nukes? So what's your reaction?
It wouldn't be a fair fight, that's for sure. But I feel like if something did pop up that we needed to arm ourselves and defend ourselves against our own country, I feel like the more armed citizens, the better our chances. I mean,
and it's not just the idea of a tyrannical government taking over in this country. If you look at some of the text and tradition in the history of the Second Amendment and the development of it throughout the years over in the late 17th century, when they were crafting this, it was about protecting the citizenry from standing armies and saying that you had to have quick, accessible firearms in order for the security of a free state. And that standing army could be a foreign occupation coming to this land, and that seems to be what the founding fathers were trying to push against, and ensuring that individuals had ready access to firearms. And sidearms are different than bazookas. Sidearms are different than jets. Sidearms are different from tanks and nuclear weapons. Sidearms are pistols, rifles, and shotguns. And that seems to be what the Second Amendment really is focused on. Appreciate everybody's call on this, and if you want to sound off more, we will definitely be covering this a lot more in the future. It is Springfield's Morning News. Got to take a break and come back for business in the 217. Stay tuned, but we've got some wicked weather coming with a winter storm watch in effect from tomorrow until Christmas Eve, with the high of 34 today, the low of 31. We're going to see some rain and snow early Thursday, but as the temperature plummets, you're going to see snow. It could be heavy at times, with the low down to -6 Thursday night with blowing snow up to 2 to 4 inches. Winds continue into Friday with a high of only 3, 45-mile-an-hour wind gusts. And then Saturday, we're looking at patchy blowing snow with a high of 10. For Christmas Day, mostly sunny, the high near 20. Right now, it's 8:20 from Culver's West on Wabash.
It's time to apply at Culver's West on Wabash. We're hiring all positions, and did we mention free food? Only at Culver's West on Wabash.
Take a little ride out to Abe's Hideout.
The in-laws are coming to visit.
Escape to Abe's Hideout.
The boss is looking for that report you haven't finished.
Escape to Abe's Hideout.
The landlord is stopping by for the rent check.
Escape to Abe's Hideout.
Whenever you need an escape, head to the place with Hideout in their name, Abe's Hideout. Build your own burger. Order a flatbread pizza. Win big money with slots from J&J Gaming. Or just have a drink at the bar. Abe's Hideout is your spot to win big with hot slots from J&J Gaming. Abe's Hideout has all the newest games, and it is the perfect place to relax and win big loot. Enjoy a little escape at Abe's Hideout in Springfield and Mechanicsburg.
Escape to Abe's Hideout.
Take a little ride out to Abe's Hideout.
It's worth the drive. If you're in need of care, that's all you should be concerned about, not the hassles of out-of-pocket cost or whether your doctor is in network. We've heard you. Springfield Clinic Advantage, an employer health plan designed locally with a real understanding of the healthcare needs of the patients in our community. A plan that guarantees you'll never be out of network with your Springfield Clinic doctors again. Your doctors, your health plan, your advantage. Visit springfieldclinic.com/advantage.
Less hassle, more travel. We've got connections, Springfield to Dallas to anywhere. The Abraham Lincoln Capital Airport remains open for you. Your hometown airport is committed to providing a safe, clean, and healthy travel experience. Security lines are short, parking is always free, and customer service is a top priority. Book your next American Airlines flight from SPI at aa.com. Fly local, fly SPI.
Take the easy way out.
Hey, John, when you think of the word supply chain, what's your next impulse?
No, turn off the news, run for cover, start whimpering.
Yeah, well, a customer of Dick Van Dyke Appliance World wrote in that they visited the store wanting to buy a microwave.
Something that used to be so simple.
Oh, right. You know what they walked out with?
Let me guess. A microwave.
Exactly. Dick Van Dyke had what they needed in stock, and the customer also remarked as to how helpful the salespeople were, too. Supply chain problems are still a thing, but this customer got the help they needed, and they wrote in to thank us.
You know, a little less whimpering in today's world can't be a bad thing.
This is Dennis Reekin, chairman of Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. Supply chain issues are minimized when you have multiple locations and people who know how to help you with your next purchase. All we do is appliances, and we do them better than anyone else. Wow!
Big Bad Night, Appliance World. When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
There are 3 words I always hear when someone from our staff is on the phone. We got it. Hi, it's Laurie from Rex Battery, and whenever somebody calls us and asks if we have a certain type of battery, the answer is always, we got it. Even in those very rare instances we don't, we know how to get it. And if we don't know how to get it, we'll build it. That's how committed we are to making sure you have the power you need. From model cars to real cars, from toys to tractors, dog collars to doorbells, riding mowers to remote keys. If it takes a battery, we have it at Rex Battery. Over 75,000 batteries in stock right now. So if you're wondering if we've got a battery, yep, we've got it. They're fresh, fully charged, and ready to go. Keeping Central Illinois fully powered for over 60 years. Rex Battery, Clear Lake, west of Dirksen.
Rex with a double X battery. Generations of power.
The WMAY Daily Poll is sponsored by Adams Pest Control for commercial, residential, real estate inspections, and termite control. Cast your vote with the WMAY mobile app or at WMAY.com/poll.
And today's poll question is about the proposed gun ban. Do you support it or do you oppose it? Yes or no? And looks like most of you are still saying no. Now, 60% of you say no, Illinois should not ban certain types of weapons and magazines. Go vote at WMAY.com/poll or on the WMAY mobile app. It's brought to you by Adams Pest Control.
Take Springfield's morning news with Greg Bishop everywhere with the free WMAY mobile app. 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's news and talk.
All right, as we do each and every Wednesday at this time, let's connect now with Michelle Ownby. She is the publisher of the Springfield Business Journal, and we're discussing some things happening in and around the Springfield business community. Michelle, thanks for taking time with us each and every Wednesday. Happy holidays to you.
Good morning, Greg. You did as well.
Absolutely. And just a programming note, since it's the holiday, we're not going to be here next week for Business in the 217. So let's wrap it up nice and strong here for the year and talk about another Chipotle Mexican grill that opened.
Yes, a lot of people were excited about this. They had their grand opening on Monday. This is the one on North Dirksen Parkway in the former, used to be HSHS Priority Care. It's right next there to Wings, etc. So that west side one out by the mall has been there for quite a few years, but now people on the north end won't have to drive as far to get their Chipotle fix. So a lot of enthusiasm for that opening.
Yeah, I guess so. For people who like Chipotle, now you got a couple of different options there. Moving on, something else to happen here. We've got the former Red Cross building on Outer Park Drive finding a new owner. Tell us about what's going on with that.
Yes, and the new owners are not relocating from very far away. Actually, just right across the street. We've talked in the past about all the plans and the work underway at the Town and Country Shopping Center. Of course, it was auctioned off earlier this year. It's under new ownership, and the new owners have some pretty significant renovation plans. And Chabad of Springfield, which is an Orthodox Jewish community, has been leasing space there in the Town and Country Center for a couple years, but they said they were told by the new owners that they would have to move out as part of the renovations in progress. So they ended up purchasing that, we still call it the Red Cross building, even though they haven't been there for a while, but that multi-story building. So they're going to occupy the lower level. They're going to lease out the upper stories. There's a couple existing tenants in there that they hope to keep, but pretty significant move for them. Rabbi Mindy Turin and his wife Sarah just moved to Springfield about 6 years ago and started out of their home before moving to the Town and Country Shopping Center, and now they're in that three-story Red Cross building.
Yeah, good to see some former buildings getting some new life. So glad to see that that's happening. We're talking with Michelle Ownby, publisher of the Springfield Business Journal, here with Springfield's Morning News. And let's talk about how you can get your hands on a copy of the SBJ, Michelle.
Yes, if you go to springfieldbusinessjournal.com, you can sign up for Biz Bites. That's our weekly digest that comes out every Wednesday afternoon, so there's still time to make sure you get today's edition. Just sign up for that. It's free of charge. And also sign up to get the print copy delivered directly to your home or office. And there's a new issue coming out today.
And what's in that new issue?
Well, this is the January Architecture and Engineering issue. So Andrea Agert, the architect of the Capitol, is on the cover. Of course, there's a lot of renovation work happening there at the Capitol, and we talk a little bit about that, but also take a look at her personal journey. And we highlight some of the notable renovation projects around town. In addition to the Capitol, we've got Horace Mann's doing a pretty major remodel downtown at 7th and Washington. They are doing commercial space on the lower level. They've moved one of their own insurance agents into that lower level office space, and then they're doing executive apartments in the upper stories, some for their own use and some that are going to be leased out. But I've seen the pictures, and that's a very nice renovation project, and good to see that historic building coming back to life.
Well, I know back to the Capitol, the amount of work that's being done is just incredible. If people get a chance to drive by and just see some of that work, it's a lot of your tax dollars going into it, and it's going to take several years to get through it, but pretty fascinating to see all that work being done. Michelle Ownby with us from the Springfield Business Journal. It is Business in the 217. Let's talk here finally about some nominations that are opening for the best places to work. Tell us about that.
Yes, so if you happen to love where you work, we are seeking nominations for best places to work. Basically, it's open to any business in Sangamon or Morgan County that has 16 or more employees. Of course, if they have 15 or fewer, they're eligible for 15 under 15, our small business awards program that we do at another time during the year. But for the purposes of this, we're looking for a little bit larger companies. There's different categories depending on the total number of employees. A business that has been recognized before is eligible to be considered again after 5 years. So again, if you think you have a pretty great place to work, take a few minutes to tell us about that. You can also do that through the website, springfieldbusinessjournal.com, and just click on the awards tab to fill out the nomination form.
Michelle Ownby, Springfield Business Journal publisher, greatly appreciate you taking the time each and every Wednesday. And if I don't talk to you until next year, have a great New Year's, have an enjoyable holiday, and we'll talk again soon, all right?
Thanks, Greg. You too.